I'm all mic'd up. I'm so excited because I'm the next to go on stage for the lady panel. So wish me luck, and I'm gonna talk with my heart and do my best to impact as many people as I can. Let's do it.
Miss Earlene Buggs.
Well, hello, good morning. Well, I'm so excited to be here. This has been an amazing event. You guys have, I've been watching the cameras and everything backstage. You guys are fired up. Well, I have the distinct pleasure of doing something very special. Of course, I hate being on stage, so I tried to get out of it. But I'm actually very excited that we're going to do a ladies panel for you today. We need some girl power going on. So I'm going to invite my panel out. VOG, can you introduce the ladies, please?
Absolutely. Let's bring out this panel of ladies. Please welcome Diamond Toledo Camaro. Diamond Annie-Pier. Diamond Jackie Pippin. And Blue Diamond Crystal Wimbray.
Thank you so much, ladies, for being here. I know I didn't give you very much time to prepare, but you know how I am. I'm kind of relaxed, and I really want your answers to be authentic, so you don't need to prepare for what you're doing in your everyday lives. So I have a couple of questions that I'm going to ask each person, and feel free to be as honest and transparent as you possibly can be. So the first question is for everyone. How did you find balance in your role as wife, mother, entrepreneur, and leader? How about you, Annie?
So for me, balance is a work in progress. And what I found out through the years is that women, especially, we tend to put everyone before us.
Yes.
But we need to make ourselves a priority in our own life and make time for ourselves. And it needs work because we need to be disciplined. So we need to practice if we want that to work. And for me, I have a routine. So every morning I wake up and I will start my day with like journaling, personal development, then I go to the gym, and then I take a shower, I'll put makeup on, get ready, and then I'm ready to build a business.
Beautiful. As women, you know, and you know, in my household, I grew up in a single parent home. It's not the greatest of experiences. Number one, money's always kind of tight. So I never ever saw my mom do anything for herself. I never saw her go on a vacation. You know, she has, you know, really pretty hair, so she had her hair natural. I never saw her get her nails done. Just there was not that example of how important self-care is. So I kind of created it in my own world. So I decided, if I'm not happy, this whole thing is gonna crash. So how about I put my good old self at the front of this line instead of at the back, and we're gonna ride out into the sunset. But you know, balance. Let me answer that question too, because a lot of people probably look at my life and think, oh, it's so glamorous. You know, she's somewhere buying diamonds or counting money. It's not true at all. Well, maybe buying diamonds occasionally. But you know, I've been at this for a long time, and I think for me, you know, I've gotten very good at asking for what I need and being very clear on my intentions. That's the other thing that as women, I feel like we don't always do. We don't always ask for what we need, and then we get frustrated because other people can't read our minds. So I got very good at communicating what I need. The next thing is, the better I got at managing myself and maintaining the self-care, the easier it was for me to have balance at certain times in my life. Now, let me say this: balance is something you can accomplish, but it's not static. It moves. Everybody else up here is married. You're single. You're not married, but you're not exactly single, right? You're in a relationship.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
I'm not single at all. But I'm not married.
So I know that both you and Thomas build a business. How do you define your role? roles? How have you defined your roles? Because I know when you have two strong people in a relationship, sometimes it gets a little hard to manage those roles, not to compete with each other, not to get in each other's way, but to learn how to respect each other and work together. So how have you been able to work through that process in your relationship?
Yes, it's been a lot of work, especially on my side, because I've been involved in the industry 4 years after Thomas, and he was already successful. And he introduced me personally to the business. I was at a cold market, I was his waitress at the restaurant, and he presented me the opportunity. And I always wanted to be in business. I always had big dreams and goals. And I fell in love with the industry of network marketing, and I fell in love with him. But I was like this because I didn't want to be Thomas' girlfriend.
Right.
I want to be successful because of me. So I pushed myself quite so hard to prove everyone that yes, I have success, but it's not because of Thomas. Yes, it is because I've been really coachable and I've done everything I needed to, but I've put the work. And so that was hard. And I know that there's a lot of couples, a supporter and a builder, and I have so much respect for that. It is as much important. But I came to the point where I was like, what's my role? Because I was seeing all those couples that has two different roles. And then Thomas and I, we are both builders. Like I'm on the trenches, I'm building the business, I'm recruiting. I do exactly what he does. And I was really hard on myself because I was comparing myself and putting a lot of pressure, not because of him, but because of how people were looking at me, if that makes sense.
That makes a lot of sense.
So yeah, I really needed to put my ego aside and just work on myself to become a better person. And I just decided that we both have strengths. They're not the same, but we just have, everybody has a gift. And you just need to take that gift and change the world with that and impact the world with the gift that you have.
Right.
And it doesn't...
So nice. That's good.
Woo! So to answer your question, our role is just, we do a lot of the similar things, but we really complete each other and we just communicate a lot. And I think that is something that is really important, not only for two builders, but for any couples, because you need to talk to each other, you need to communicate, you need to do sacrifices, and you need to take care of each other and to give a lot of love.
Right.
Yes!
I know that we had this conversation in Florida, actually on the yacht, because I think it was after Holton did a Sapphire training in Miami, and you heard him talking about how we do things in our relationship. You know, he's basically the one that's out front. I'm doing all the behind the scenes stuff. I could care less about being on stage. I do it because I have to, not necessarily because it's in my personality, but you know, that's more of him. So Crystal and I happen to be talking to you on the yacht, and your question was, am I doing something wrong because you're doing things this way? And I felt like it was such a beautiful conversation that we had, just understanding that, you know, we are all different. Everybody's relationship in here, your scenario, your home life, it's all different. There is more than one way to do a thing. You don't have to look at my relationship, if you will, or the structure of my family and try to compare yourself and think that you've got to change everything in your life to fit what we're doing. It's what works for us. The difference in that is that's where mentorship comes in. That's why you have to have someone you can go and bounce ideas off of, that you trust and that you respect, so that they can say, no, there's nothing wrong with you. You don't have any kids right now. You're not married right now. You know, I'm just wow. So I thought that was interesting. Crystal, do you want to add something to that? Because I know you have a whole lot to share with her about this subject.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. You have to do what works for you and what makes you happy, and then you have your boyfriend or your relationship what works, what jives with y'all, and you just gotta stay in alignment with what's working with you.
Yes, and I just want to say again that I'm so grateful for that conversation. Like, it's crazy, like the environment that we are in, and you can be there too, guys. Like, picking the brain of people like this that have so much success is a blessing, and everybody deserves it. Deserve that. You just need to put the work, and you can come here.
That's awesome. Awesome. So good. I want to know how you make time for yourself. Because I wear 1,000 hats. I mean, sometimes I have to be a property manager. One minute I'm a wife, I'm a mother, I'm a counselor, I'm a doctor. I mean, I'm everything sometimes. And, it gets really difficult sometimes. It really does. I mean, and every day I'm not always on a 10. So there are sometimes I have to say to myself, you need a pajama day. You need to stay in the house, relax, because you're on 10. So I want to know, what is it that you do specifically to take care of yourself?
For me, my health is really important for me. So taking care of myself is putting the right food in my plate every single day, drink my water. Like it's really like, how can I take care of myself so I can be available to help more people. So this is I know for some women it's hard to put yourself first, but in the back of my mind I'm thinking I'm doing it so I can help more people. I need to help myself first. And it's just, for me, self-care is more about changing the way I think, because we have a lot of negative self-talk, and the person who have the most conversation with in a day is ourselves.
Right.
And for me to learn how to love myself and to change the conversation that I have with myself, it is the way I learn how to take care of myself.
That's good. That's really good.
I'm trying to think about my family. I live really far away. I moved to a city 6 hours away from them now in Florida during the winter, and it's that part of I was spending a lot of time with them, and I lost a lot of friends in the process because they didn't understand where I was going with my life, and I needed to be in peace with that, to just let go and stop holding to memories or be nostalgic about the past, and just focusing on my vision, focusing on my future, focusing on where I'm going, and just run there and surround myself with people that can go there with me and help me go there. So that's the first thing. And another thing that I need, a sacrifice that I needed to go, it's weird maybe to say, but I needed to let go of the person I was and work really hard, because there's room for everybody to win, and sometimes you compare yourself or you think that if another person is winning, you're not, but it's not the truth. Everybody can win. There's also space for everyone, and it's just to understand that work on yourself, becoming a better person, and let go of the past and move forward.
Beautiful. Thank you. In this world of social media, I've been on social media maybe 4 or 5 years now. It's rough. People are really cruel, and sometimes it's people are also on there living their best life. So you're scrolling through Instagram, trying to compare yourself to this perfect 10 seconds of a person's life. How do you resist the urge to compare yourself to what you see online?
I think that for me, that used to be a really big struggle, because I was comparing myself to everybody, and I was always feeling unworthy, and everybody was more pretty, everybody was better, it's I was holding myself back.
Wait, what? you were thinking that everybody else is so, I'm shocked and appalled. You are so gorgeous.
Yes! Yes!
You're looking like, what? Are there prettier people on Instagram?
But thank you so much. But I think it's the relationship, again, with myself. I hated myself before. I needed to work a lot to learn to love myself. And in the process, I needed to sometimes unfollow some people that were causing me to feel bad about myself. And
Unfollow. That's why I have that button there.
yeah, and it's just letting go of perfection. Perfection doesn't exist. You are enough. You are perfect the way you are. I need to remind myself that all the time. And what I thought before, that beauty was being skinny and being perfect, etc. But right now, how I see beauty is how I make people feel and how I can change them.
Oh, that's beautiful.
I love that.